Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, so I hope you are ready for the section. So it's gonna be like chill and not gonna be like that serious, right? And this section we're talking about GameFi. So the first question, for someone that they don't know what GameFi is, like some people that they're not in this industry before, maybe you guys can tell us about like the definition of GameFi. So probably start with Iris.
Yes, for sure. Hi everyone. Hi every dear guest today, and it's very honor for me to be here and to represent my team to join a very like interesting topic today. And before coming to the main question, maybe I just want to share a little bit about myself and then also about our project first, and then we can come to the main question.
Right, that's
And
good too.
it's Iris CMO at Monster NFT game, and we are the free play and earn model NFT game with multi-chain integration. And we are now one of the top GameFi project on BNB chain with over 300,000 gamers right now. And we are next on Avalanche in OKEX. And we already launched just 3 months ago and in the beer market, So it's quite struggling for us to grow about the traction and every maybe component in our ecosystem. So it's quite hard. And so that's why today we want to talk about GameFi and about every chance and the market, and would love to know more about other ideas from you guys and to get to know more about the GameFi in the future. And to come back to the main question, I think that each person will have like different definition about the GameFi. And for me personally, I think that the GameFi is a combination of the two words like game and also fi. The game is a gaming and the fi is a finance, and it's also the combination between like playing for fun and to earn the money. And the user can play and enjoy the fun fighter and to enjoy about like to earn more money to pay for everything in their life. And this can be great value that GameFi can bring for the user. So that is my question for this. Very easy one.
Yeah, thank you so much. So for the next people, so I might ask you to introduce you like yourself a little bit, right? And where you from, what's your name, and what is your project doing? So people get to know a little bit of background about you. So Greg, you're next.
Thank you, Jib. So my name's Greg. I'm from America. I moved to Thailand 3 months ago. I work on a company called Superpower Squad. We are a Web3 MOBA, kind of like Fortnite or PUBG. And so we're a free-to-play battle royale Web3 MOBA. And we're probably the highest production MOBA game to hit Web3 so far. So it's a really big genre. Very excited. We're doing our first tournament right now. We're in the corner over there. And we launch fully next month on BNB chain and hope to be a top BNB chain app like Monsterra.
Great, thank you so much. And what about like definition of GameFi? What would you give?
Sure. So I think so gaming as an industry, as a vertical, evolves pretty periodically and very fast. It's a very short time frames for the vertical. So free to play was also free to play and mobile free to play was the last version of their evolution. It happens very fast. It was a joke at first. It didn't really work, and then like it 10x, then 10x the next year, and 10x the next year, and then took over the whole vertical. And so I think GameFi is also an evolution of where gaming is going. And it's going from mobile gaming and normal gaming to I can game and make a living gaming, and we're still figuring out what that means and how it interacts with all these different economies and NFTs and tokens and all that stuff, and it's still finding its niche. But once it finds it, the whole entire industry will move into it. And so GameFi is the next evolution of mobile gaming.
Wow, that's very great definition as well. Thank you so much. And SongTe, can you briefly introduce yourself and give the answer to the question?
Hi everyone, I'm SongTe from Coinpost. I'm doing the head of BD at Coinpost, and the Coinpost is doing the crypto media in Japan. And as you guys know, like Japan is one of the biggest gaming countries. So I'm here to speak about GameFi today, and I'm really happy to be here with you guys. And for the definition of the GameFi, I think the GameFi is the something that can excite the people and at the same time they can give some benefit in the decentralized world. It could be like fungible token and it could be like identity in the decentralized world. So that's my definition for GameFi.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, for the next questions, and like everybody like been like in this industry before, and I would like to know what do you think is the current state or trend of GameFi? Can go for Iris first.
Yeah, still me first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this question, I will like
you wanna
grab first.
Okay, you wanna go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Beast before beauty. I think the current state is in free fall for GameFi. Very little investments will go into it right now. It had a huge run, and now it's kind of really needs to find its next iteration. So there's a lot of money in this space. A lot of investments been made, but no new investment. Very little new investments being made until GameFi finds the product market fit that it's looking for right now. And currently, I think they're making every game a GameFi game, but every game should not be a GameFi game. We don't know if RPG should be GameFi. We don't know if MMORPG should be GameFi. We don't know if MOBA should be GameFi. We don't know if PvP should be GameFi or if Match 3s should be GameFi. All the different verticals of games probably will not work the same way for making a successful GameFi game. And so I think that the whole vertical of gaming and GameFi is at a pause until it figures out product market fit, and we're waiting to see what that big project is going to be. It won't look like what it used to look like. I think free to play is kind of done in its current iteration, and whatever it is next will be a different version of something to play.
Right. I agree on that. Like because right now nobody like has like the what like full plan what it should be and what is the successful way to do this, and it's like still figure it out. And yeah, I think it's the good answer. Okay, so I will skip you and go for SongTe. What do you think of is the current trend and the current state of GameFi?
Okay, I think that the GameFi is on the middle stage because I'm playing GameFi from 2018, and at that time the quality of the game was like really low. To be honest, it was really not interesting. But the quality of game is getting better for sure, and some games definitely bring some wealth to the users. Maybe last year. And it made some kind of trend in Japanese market, GameFi. So I think the GameFi is on the middle stage because it's getting like very it's getting famous or it's getting familiar with the general people in the world, but it's not the stage on mass adoption. So we need to think about how to make it more popular in the general world. I think that's the stage we are in.
Right. And how about you, Iris? What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally understand and totally agree with other ideas from other guests. And for me, like personally, I think that right now, the GameFi as a crypto market is still in the winner. And you know that this year we have to face with a lot of accidents and the crashes from Terra and Luna. And also in GameFi in specifically, we have like Axie Infinity and also like Step and they are the unicorn of the GameFi. But actually after the bear market, they have to change a little bit in the business model, and they have to face with the problem that they maybe decrease a little bit about the user traction because like a lot of problem, inflation, and about the entry cost for the player. So they leave the game a lot. And that's why that a lot of investors in GameFi that lose about the trust about the GameFi and they quit the game and everything's going on. And recently we got another hit from like FTX, right? So still like the market is down and down. So that's why the GameFi inside the crypto market is still like not good as previously. So actually it's quite bit down, but actually I think that it's also a chance for every like potential project, serial teams with great business model and great revenue model can be still like stand out and can grow quickly in this market, and it's fair. So for every project at this time, so I think this is the current stage of the GameFi.
Yeah. So the current state of GameFi, from what you think, is also like developing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think so. Like in order to make a good game, you need to take some more time, right? But like if you guys see like in the previous year, like when it's the boom and it's like play to earn and stuff. And some of the game is just it's not even a game. It's like click and then you earn, right? And then that is not gonna be good and it's all done. So I think it's the current state developing and we like try to figuring which the best model to do it, right? And SongTe, you mentioned about mass adoption. So it will lead to my next question. What do you think like can make GameFi become more mass, like to like create mass adoption into like gamer and Web3 space? Yeah, like you mentioned before about the mass adoption.
I think that, of course, quality of the game is important, as you say, like not the click and to earn, and but I think most importantly, the user education is more important because I think in the population of the gaming users, I think 99% of the users are still playing just the social games. And when it comes to playing the GameFi or the blockchain games, we need to understand the concept of the wallet or concept of the NFT or concept of the blockchain. And it's really hard to understand for the people who don't really familiar with blockchain. And the lack of the knowledge or lack of the understanding to NFT or the Web3 or GameFi might cause or might bring some loss on their like wealth. So it's really important to simplify the concept of the wallet or concept of the blockchain game when it comes to mass adoption to the like general world.
Yeah, and do you think like how to do that?
Like for example, I know one blockchain which is called a Mission, and they are doing they are like decentralizing the wallet to the several nodes. So the users only need one phone number and a 6-pin code to create their wallet. So they don't really need to memorize their secret phrase or mnemonics, and they can have the decentralized non-custodial wallet. So this kind of the approach would be really important to make it mass adoption. Yeah.
To make it like easier for user to understand about wallet.
Yeah.
And okay. And what do you think about that, Greg?
Spot on, nailed it. The custodial wallet, figuring out custodial wallets in games, is the number one friction point that you're going to face, and every game is going to have to move towards having custodial wallets built in, and then having a simple solution like that to allow people to have their own custody of it if they want to take over it. I think after that, the next biggest friction point is probably gas. If you're asking people to pay gas fees, you need to just obfuscate it. Either you pay it yourself or you charge them and pull it out of their wallet and like figure out some way around it, because like normal consumers don't understand that shit at all. And then after that, you have a game that's like an in-game app experience that people can enjoy. So, but the majority of it comes down to the wallet obfuscation. So once we incorporate that, we spend a lot of time integrating that. A lot of new games coming out are incorporating that too. It's going to be a huge boon to the industry.
What about you, Iris? You have any point on that?
Yeah, I actually like two guys already told what I think in my mind, but there's one additional idea is about like why GameFi can be the greatest way for the massive adoption in the Web3, because in the blockchain so many tiers for maybe the layer in that, and the easy way to like get the bridge from Web2 to Web3 is about the NFT, because like for the NFT they value about the ownership of every like user, normal user to like maybe advanced level of the user. So NFT can value every ownership of the user and to bring much more value for them. And then when come to the next level, so it's maybe like GameFi is the next level, because like it's very easy to use, and also the GameFi also integrate about the NFT into the game. So that's why every user they can use the assets and turns like convert into the off-chain to on-chain. So that's why they can choose between where can I make or when can I make about on-chain transaction. It depends on us. So it's quite like easy for everyone from Web 2 to Web 3. So it can be like everyone can just play the game to enjoy every fun factors and moment, and also they can use every like on-chain factors and to move on in the blockchain. So it's great, much more valuable for the user. So I think that is maybe the great value that GameFi can be the greatest adoption for Web 3. Yeah.
And do you think that the same reason that make GameFi become very popular in the first place?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So okay, that's very good point. And this one, maybe I might ask you first, like because like as you already like Monsterra already on like the market and everything, it's about the current problem that you're facing. Yeah.
Actually, we have a lot of problem, and the market maybe problem is the most maybe struggling thing, because we cannot control everything related to the market, and it's come this yesterday it can be green, but actually after the day after it can be maybe red a little bit, so we cannot control everything related to the market and for the industry. So it's quite hard for us at that time, and growing traction in the beer market is much harder. And for us, for Monsterra, we need to maybe delay a little bit for our launching date. And actually for our main story previously, we already maybe 2 months at the early of 2022 for growing for our INO on Binance NFT marketplace. And it's lucky that at that time we already sold out 20,000 boxes on Binance NFT marketplace just in 10 seconds. And then later on, I see that a lot of demands of the user want to like all our NFT assets. So then we decided to host the second INO on GameFi and Metaverse Starter, and we already sold out in 1 hour. And then later on, I think that it's a good move to the next IDO and the launching our mainnet, but actually Terra collapsed. So it's suddenly to make it more harder for us. So we have to delay our mainnet and IDO till August. So it means 6 months for delay. And then we have to struggling with everything like financial problem and for the user as well. Because we have a lot of fans, but we cannot maybe give our manage release our game on the right date, so they quite disappointed a little bit. So we have to face with the problem and to keep calm about our fans at that time, and to build our maybe community engagement in a better way to keep calm everyone. And then later on, like for ideal at the beer market, it's also a struggling, and we try to find any the best launch pad, and also for exchange for listing to keep our token price can be stable. And it can be lucky for us because right now we're still stable in the beer market, I hope so. So that is some kind of like problems that we have to face with in this market. So just want to share. So want to hear more about your problems in the beer market, so we can like discuss more and learn on from that.
So for sure, the bear market is a problem because everyone's 10x easier in a bull market. So for us, we started our fundraising a couple months ago. Fundraising is not what it used to be right now. Almost no VCs deploying, and most VCs are not investing in GameFi as a vertical right now we've seen. So that's interesting. The second thing where we see our biggest challenge is really in the go-to-market strategy and doing user adoption, because you can go after a lot of Web3 users, and there's a couple Web3 users through the guilds, but if you really want to go after the larger batch of mobile gamers, you have to have a really good growth strategy and adoption strategy. Traditional performance advertising doesn't really work right now in gaming. It's very expensive. It's very expensive also for a GameFi game where you're giving away money and in the current funding market. So you really have to be very creative in how you're going to acquire users early on as a game, and making sure that you also, as a new game, you have to really be sticky if you're paying for your users. Right. And so the engagement loop is tricky. The channels of how you find your gamers are tricky. And then lastly, because you have to be more creative and use a bunch of different sources, you're kind of going as a Web3 company going into traditional gaming avenues. It's just all very challenging, and knowing what you're doing right and learning how to test the things out and test them on very low budgets until you get it right. So that's where we see the largest challenge right now is finding the right channels, like go-to-market channels.
Right. Okay, so this is for you guys, you have your own games, right? So it's the point of view of your like the project owner and game owner. But for SongTe, like with Coinpost, in the aspect of media, what do you think is like the greatest challenge for the GameFi project to be out there and be successful?
Oh yeah, as crypto media in Japan, we often talk with the governmental organization or the giant gaming companies like in Japan, and they are always talking about the market fluctuation, as you mentioned, because there are two big fluctuation in the market and the token prices. So it's really hard to get into this market for like gaming giants, because they have spent so much money and dozens of money on branding and creating these IPs, and they don't want to take these risks. But I do believe that the Web2 gaming companies should be in this like GameFi this part to make this market bigger. So as crypto media, the problem we are facing is like that these things.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're going for like our last question. It's going to be about the future of GameFi. What do you see GameFi in the next 5 to 10 years? So this question, I will start with Greg.
Thank you, Jib. I think GameFi is the future of gaming, right? I think all the Web2 players eventually move into it once we figure it out. I think once one person nails it, everyone just kind of steamrolls into it. And 5 to 10 years, wow, this industry moves so fast. In 5 years, it will all be GameFi, but in 10 years, it'll be something different. It changes. Maybe it's VR GameFi, maybe it's like some like car-fi, doing something different. But I think where it really goes is, if you're a great gamer, you can have a life playing games and earning money, and people will support you and watch you. And so right now you see that in the esports leagues, and that's like a whole different level of gamer and competitive gamer. I think there's a lower level of that. Like, there's no reason why a top person on Candy Crush can't be earning money from the game. Right now they can earn money from streaming and getting people to watch them on YouTube, but like there's another model where they can be earning money from the game. So it's just another vertical of we've done social media, we've done watching people, we've done, sports teams, and now we'll do actually like the games paying people, which will be the next version of it.
Right. And about you, Iris?
Yeah, it's quite hard for us to predict some kind of future of GameFi, because it depends on a lot of factors, right? So actually we hope that, and as we can see in the near future, we can predict about a lot of innovative model of the GameFi will be released in the upcoming time. Maybe we can take an example. After click to earn, we have play to earn, we have play and earn, and we have move to earn, we have drive to earn, a lot of to earn, right? And we hope that in the near future we can see a lot of different other type of the to earn more, because to earn is the ending of the word, and it can be related to directly to the GameFi. But actually we will see about so many kind other of the game, and we hope that in the near future every new technology can be integrated in the GameFi to have us to see more about not only metaverse, but actually we hope that we can see more about the multiverse, universe, anyverse in the university. So we hope that we can go in the long run. Actually, for Monster, we always like keep an eyes on the market, on the new technology to bring much about value for our user. Because we would love to maybe increase about LTV, maybe lifetime value of our user coming to us, and we want them to engage more about us. So our task, maybe the duty and responsibility, is to find about growth hacking strategy to keep us not like maybe affected by the market fluctuation, and also to keep our fans always have a lot of value from our game, and also whole ecosystem of Monster building for them. So that is some kind of maybe the future that we want to build for the GameFi, and we hope that every other project in the GameFi sector will like find their chance and find their own way to change a little bit in the GameFi maybe vision a little bit, because now every player lose a little about the trust on GameFi, and we want to make it happen, and we hope that GameFi in the near future can maybe bring more value and about the trust back for the user. Yeah.
Right, thank you. Whoa, that's a very good answer. Yeah. How about you, SongTe?
Okay, as a crypto media, I'm not the person who are creating the GameFi, so nothing to say. But I believe that the GameFi will be the kind of the gateway for the users to into this Web3 world or the crypto. So as in Japanese market last year, the stipend was really really big trend, and it make GameFi more familiar with Japanese general users. So I hope you guys will be the next one, and I will be as a crypto media. We will help the GameFi projects to be more popular, or the GameFi project can make mass adoptions in the future. Yeah.
Sure. And actually, like the question is a bit like too long, like 5 years, 10 years, like, I know that. But because like in 5 years, like I think we might have new technology and like, well, it go crazy, It's so hard to predict. Yeah, I understand that. So I think that's the last question. Thank you so much to joining us today and coming to Thailand. Like, it's a great pleasure meeting you, having you here. Thank you so much.
Happy New
Thank you so
Year.
much. Yeah.
Thank you.